Getting pre-approved is really the first step into buying a home. And in my experience as a realtor, most people leave it until the very last minute, and the whole time they're being led to overestimate or underestimate how much they're actually going to be able to spend on their home. If you neglect the pre-approval, there's really three things that can happen. And the first is, say you're looking to buy a home and you find your perfect home that you absolutely love. And this home is $500,000. And you feel as though that's something that you're comfortable spending. However, when you go to write your offer on the house, you realize that you need to send it with a pre-approval letter. And now when you actually speak to a lender and you sit down, you understand that you can only get pre-approved for $450,000. Now with this, your offer is now, if you still decide to write an offer, going to be $50,000 less than the actual home's value. And with that, a lot of people can be led to believe that they just wasted a lot of time when they were looking at homes. And this is really the first idea of what can happen if you neglect pre-approval until you're ready to write an offer on a home. Now for the second idea is understanding what your mortgage costs. So what most people think of is, say you wanted to buy a house that's $1 million. And you sat down with whoever you're going to buy the house with, or if you're buying it yourself, and you think, I feel financially comfortable putting down a 20% down payment. So $200,000 on this home. And everyone talks about interest rates and what it is and what they do in accordance with your mortgage. However, you're comfortable with that, and then you're ready to write an offer on a home, much like in the last scenario. And then you have to get pre-approved, and then you see what your mortgage is monthly. It's maybe a lot different than you think. So say you were comfortable putting down the $200,000, and in your head with about a 6.5% interest rate, which is kind of average right now, say you thought that was going to be, this is a random number, not real math, but let's say you thought it would be $10,000 a month. And that's something that you'd be fully comfortable with spending. However, let's say that $800,000 loan, because the $200,000 or the million minus the $200,000 down is your loan is going to be $800,000. Now say that loan with a 6.5% interest rate at 30 years isn't the $10,000 that you thought. Let's say it's actually $13,000 a month. And now you're looking at it and going, okay, I'm comfortable with the down payment, but with this down payment, I'm no longer comfortable with the amount monthly because of how much I'm borrowing. So with that is, say you wanted the $10,000 back, and again, this isn't exact numbers, but an idea. Say you wanted that $10,000, you might have to actually buy a house that's $950,000 instead, because really what people care about is what their monthly cost is, because that's what you're going to have to cover for 30 years or however long your loan is. So with this idea, in this scenario, is now you're looking at it as, okay, I can cover the upfront costs, cool, but I'm not too sure about the monthly, and that still is also going to bring down the amount of money that you could be spending on a home. And in this scenario, if you at first got pre-approved, you would have already known exactly how much your monthly payment was going to be, and you would see if you wanted to continue at the very highest amount of your pre-approval, or you maybe wanted to go a little bit lower and you can feel a little bit more comfortable with that payment. Now the third scenario and most unlikely scenario is going to be, say you're looking at homes, right? And you're looking at homes over here that are $500,000, because that again is an idea that you feel like you could spend and it feels comfortable. However, you go to write an offer on this home, and then you see that you're actually pre-approved for a $700,000 house. And you could get a house that's much bigger and better than the one that you've already been looking for. Now, this is definitely the least likely of scenarios, but a scenario nonetheless that does occur. And with this, it always goes back to the comfortability in what you're spending. So just because you're approved for 700,000 does not mean that you should spend it. And you should maybe spend the $500,000. But again, understanding what you can do will allow you to not feel like the maybe 2 months or 3 months or year or however long it took to find this house that you love wasn't a waste because you fully understood that maybe you had a little bit more money in the bank. Now, I know that was a lot of information into the mortgage side of buying a home, but I do hope this video did give you a little bit of value. And if it did, please leave a like, a comment, and again, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.